Sports, 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 sports.
Hey there, sports fans. Welcome to Sportsball, part of the SPDM Crew podcast. We talk about sports-related topics, but we focus on you, the fan, and what you like, whether it's a sport, team, event, athlete, or sports-related news. This week, we're going to be talking about basketball because I love talking about basketball, but we're specifically focusing on the NBA championship. And I'm going to try to do something a little bit different because I am going through a lot of best of the 25th or the 21st century stuff. So what I did this little exercise where I ranked all of the NBA championships of the 21st century, 1 through 26, and I'm going to go through them and see where my rationale is with this. Now, this is just my opinion of it, but I kind of went through this and I just wanted to take a look. I don't really have a criteria for it. I did put sweeps towards the bottom because I like competitive series, so that was kind of the only real thing, but I wanted to take a look at, kind of just some of the highlights of this, why some of these are a little bit higher up versus others. So let's go ahead and start at the very bottom, which is number 26, which is the 2007 San Antonio Spurs that beat the Cleveland Cavaliers in a 4-0 sweep. Tony Parker was the MVP, and I picked this at the bottom because San Antonio was a team that they had been playing together for a long time, and they just waxed LeBron James. It was his first taste of the NBA Finals. I believe this was his fourth season in the NBA, so not a whole lot for him to go about. Plus, he was playing with a bunch of scrubs in Cleveland. So that was my number 26. My number 25, 2018 Golden State Warriors beat the Cleveland Cavaliers 4-0 in a sweep. Kevin Durant was the MVP. This was Golden State's third championship in 4 seasons. This is Durant's second championship. Just Cleveland just looked exhausted, and they didn't have a whole lot there that they could really go on. So just a largely uncompetitive series. Just not a huge fan of it. Number 24, I've got the 2024 Boston Celtics versus the Dallas Mavericks. Jaylen Brown was the MVP. I think I remember this more for Luka getting his first taste of the finals as opposed to the Celtics actually like going out there and winning the finals. Jaylen Brown was fantastic in this. Jason Tatum was fine as well, but Jaylen Brown definitely deserved the MVP. Number 23, I've got 2001, the Los Angeles Lakers defeating the Philadelphia 76ers. Shaq was the MVP. This was their middle championship in their three-peat, and I kind of just viewed this as, yep, you won again. Good for you against a very undersized 76ers team. 22nd, I've got the 2003 San Antonio Spurs versus the New Jersey Nets. Tim Duncan was the MVP. 21, I've got the 2002 Los Angeles Lakers versus the New Jersey Nets. This is their three-peat win, and Shaq was the MVP. This was a sweep, and the only reason why I put this a little higher up is because this was their sweep year, so good for them. Number 20, I've got 2017, the Golden State Warriors defeating the Cleveland Cavaliers. Kevin Durant's the MVP, and this is his first title, so I gave him a little bit more credit for that. 19 is the 2015 Golden State Warriors versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is the Andre Iguodala year that he won the MVP of the finals, and this is the Warriors' first title. Number 18, 2014, the San Antonio Spurs defeat the Miami Heat. Kawhi Leonard, this is the first of his 2 MVPs that he gets in the finals, and this is the revenge year against the Miami Heat after what they did to San Antonio the year before, and this marks the end of the Heatles as well, because after that, LeBron went his merry way. back to Cleveland, and eventually Dwayne Wade would leave or would stay in Miami for a little while longer. But Chris Bosh, they were trying to make him the guy until blood clots ended his career, which is sad because I think Chris Bosh is was a vital part of those championship teams. Let's see, 2000, and my number 17 is the 2009 Los Angeles Lakers. Against the Orlando Magic, largely uncompetitive series because Orlando got to the finals because Dwight Howard was playing out of his mind. But this, for me, will always be Kobe's first title without Shaq, and that mattered a lot because Kobe was the MVP of that. So, number 16, 2020 Los Angeles Lakers versus the Miami Heat. LeBron is the MVP, and this is the bubble year. I'm not one of those people who puts an asterisk on the bubble. The bubble was a small miracle that they actually did that, but it doesn't change the fact that it's still a worthy title. Number 15, 2012, the Miami Heat defeat the Oklahoma City Thunder. LeBron is the MVP, and this is LeBron's first title. OKC, they were filled with three future Hall of Famers and three future MVP. Just wasn't in the cards for them. Or LeBron had been there, done that, but that was one where he just wasn't going to be denied. My number 14 is the 2023 Denver Nuggets versus the Miami Heat. Jokic is your MVP. And there's a couple things about this. First and foremost, Jokic's first title, so got to give him credit for that. But also just how nonchalant he was after winning the titles. Like he just wants to go home back to Serbia or wherever he's from in Eastern Europe. And not only that, this is the first time that an NBA Finals team came from the play-in. So there's at least that. My number 13 is the 2005 San Antonio Spurs versus the Detroit Pistons. Tim Duncan's your MVP. It's a 7-game classic, so I gave it some extra points for that. Number 12, 2000, the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Indiana Pacers. Shaq is your MVP. This is the first of their set of three-peats. Number 11, 2021, the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Phoenix Suns. Giannis is your MVP. Giannis closes them out in 6 games. There's just a lot of iconic plays that happened during this series. The Valley Oop, the Drew Holiday alley-oop to Giannis after he steals it away from Devin Booker, and that closeout game where Giannis scores 1,000,000 points. Yeah, that was really great. Number 10, the 2008 Boston Celtics versus the Los Angeles Lakers. Paul Pierce is your MVP. This is the first of the big three, or the first and only title for the Boston Celtics big three of Garnett, Pierce, and Ray Allen. This is the Anything is Possible series, plus also Boston, LA. What a great time to be alive, I suppose. My number 9 is the 2022 Golden State Warriors versus the Boston Celtics. This is Steph Curry's only Finals MVP, which is crazy. And Golden State shouldn't have won another title after the 3 that they won, but they still managed to find a way to do it. So good for them. My number 8 is the 2019 Toronto Raptors versus the Golden State Warriors. Kawhi is your MVP for this. This game is unfortunately going to be known as the game Kevin Durant tore his Achilles. So that's a bit of a bummer, but also this is the end of the Warriors dynasty in that form. And this is Canada's first NBA title, with Toronto renting Kawhi for a single season just to get, they sacrificed, unfortunately, DeMar DeRozan in order to get Kawhi so that they could win an NBA title. And I think I won't even remember the title as much as the journey where Toronto gets to the Philadelphia 76ers, that Kawhi buzzer beater in game 7. That game was just magic. And I really think Philadelphia probably would have won the title had they gone through that, because that was Embiid's best chance. He's never been healthier. Ben Simmons actually kind of cared about basketball a little bit. And then Jimmy Butler was on the team as well. So That's a bit of a bummer. Number 7, the 2006 Miami Heat versus the Dallas Mavericks. Dwayne Wade is your MVP, and this is Shaq's first without Kobe. Miami wasn't supposed to win this series. This was supposed to be Dirk's crowning achievement, but Dirk will get revenge a little bit later on. Number 6, the 2010 Los Angeles Lakers versus the Boston Celtics. Kobe's your MVP, and that game 7 was just epic. I was working at Best Buy at the time. I was living in LA, and everybody was just watching game 7. I didn't care. I wanted Boston to win because at the time I just was not a huge Lakers fan, but hey, it is what it is with that. My number 5 is the 2025 Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Indiana Pacers. SGA is your MVP. This is probably recency bias, but it's a classic 7-game series, the second youngest team to ever win the title. Just a great story as well. My number 4, the 2004 Detroit Pistons versus the Los Angeles Lakers with Chauncey Billups as your finals MVP. And this was a team that was definitely not supposed to beat the mighty Lakers with Karl Malone and Gary Payton and all of them. But they whooped the Lakers. Yeah, the Pistons shouldn't have won that series, not because they weren't talented, because nobody expected them to. And I think that's what makes it all the more sweet. The number 3 is the 2013 Miami Heat versus the San Antonio Spurs. This is LeBron's second title, and this will go down as the Ray Allen 3 series, where, God, it's seconds into the game, or the Larry O'Brien trophy is coming out to award it to the San Antonio Spurs. And Chris Bosh tips that pass to Ray Allen, and he just drills a 3 to tie the game. I just remember being so unbelievably upset at that because I thought Ray Allen was a bit of a traitor for what he did to Boston, but at the end of the day, who cares? He got another title, so good for him. My number 2 is the 2011 Dallas Mavericks versus the Miami Heat. This is Dirk Nowitzki's only title, but it came against the Heatles, and it came against a team that nobody thought that they could beat. I was actually quite shocked that the Mavericks beat them, but Rick Carlisle coached his ass off, and him and Dallas and him and Indiana, it's pretty clear that I think Rick Carlisle is a pretty great coach. So my number 1 is the 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Golden State Warriors. LeBron's the MVP. Cleveland's only title. This fulfills LeBron's promise to Cleveland to bring them a championship. They were down 3-1 in the NBA Finals, and they came back to win it all. That block shot, Kyrie's three-pointer, ill-advised three-pointer, just everything about that was just magic. So that is my ranking for the NBA champions of the 21st century. What do you think? Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? Where would you put some of these? So let me know in the comments below. But that's going to do it for this episode of Sportsball. Be sure to like, rate, and subscribe to anything and everything SPDM Crew, wherever you get your podcast. Join us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Blue Sky at SPDM Crew. Check out our website at com. Shout out to High Flyer Creative Studios for making our awesome logo. Greatly appreciate their support. And if you have any marketing, logo, or brand standard needs, contact them at highflyercreative.com. Check out the other shows on our network. Really proud of the work that everyone does. So please check out the other shows in the SPDM Crew podcasting network. And finally, if you've got a podcast idea or you're interested in being part of the SPDM Crew as a guest or collaborating, email us at spdmcrew@gmail.com. Until next time, pain heals, chicks dig scars, glory lasts forever.